You're. I'm back again. Anyway, if I remember correctly, last time I was here, what happened? Papyrus fainted or something? Something happened like that. It was something like that. Probably. Anyway, yeah. Then Sans probably would have kicked everybody out too, if I remember correctly. I probably don't though. But you know what happens when the jargon be in your brain. There's a whole lot of jargon going on out here. You gotta cut out the smoke. Sometimes you just gotta cut it all off and focus on some real live activities. Like this, I guess. Anyway. So, continuing on with what the situation is after my boy Sans would have kicked everybody and their mama out, They would have went home, obviously. I don't remember if I said they lived mad far away last time. They wouldn't, because I said so. Even then, it's Japan. They got trains everywhere. It wouldn't have been that serious. Sam probably would have checked back up with Papyrus, on some, stand by his bed, make sure he good, he ain't dead, he breathing. That's always good. He trying to think about what happened with what Chara was talking about. Obviously, she did have no control of the body. She had control of the soul, barely, but she still wasn't making decisions. Not a lot of them, at the very least. Not without having LV, and her LV would have reset every time they reset. Also believing Frisk, and Frisk talking about that. She didn't do anything. That she thought Chara was in control, especially after she sold her soul, because she lost full control at that point. So whatever happened after that, it was especially on the genocide route, I'll probably explain it further, or actually have them talk about it in the story. But just off of the understanding of the setting that we in, during the genocide route, she would have been losing more and more control of herself as it went on anyway. Just being in the underground, she had less control of herself. But that's besides the point, right? Back to Papyrus. Couple minutes go by. I say about like 20. My boy Sans, he monitoring his sibling, checking him. He ain't hurt, resting. We got Papyrus, the great Papyrus. Yeah. Hey, that, you feel me? That's my boy. We all love Papyrus over here. If you don't love Papyrus, I don't love you. Your mama don't love you. Anyway, so he over here checking them and all that. HP looking right. Level, it's Papyrus, my boy, level 1, kind of. Fur monster. So yeah. After the 20 minutes go by, my boy Sans, he over here worrying about his brother and all that's extra. Papyrus, he ended up waking up. Like, what the, jolting kind of. He look around. He sees Sans. Sans look on. He's like, hey, bro, you finally awake? All that company must have you dead tired, huh? And Papyrus would have grown, because it's Papyrus, and as he was to look around, he's like, Sans, what happened, Sans? Like, what's going on? Because his memories, it's just going on. It's just scattered a little bit, right? He ain't really perceiving like he think he should be perceiving. So Sans, he take the older brother Rowdy on some, So what do you remember? What happened? Well, I mean, I wasn't up here when y'all was up here, so explain it to me. And Papyrus, he's on his, I was up here with Flowey Azrael and Frisk, but they were debating about telling me something, or if I should know, and like they said something, and all of a sudden I remembered so much. It felt like I remembered at the very least, and then I remembered more, and you kind of get quiet a little bit, and in a sense, like when you say you remembered, what are you actually? What do you think you're remembering? And it was like the underground sense, and all the people and undying and everything up until because Papyrus really don't know how much Sans know. You feel me? So he's very cautious of telling Sans what happened with the genocide route at all, because he do remember himself getting killed in Snowden after offering his his mercy, right? And Sans, like I'm saying, my boy be reading them facial expressions. You feel me? He look up and he see he see a familiar face on Papyrus, right? He's very cautious, right? But it's also a rare face of Papyrus, right? Papyrus don't Papyrus is cautious, but I mean he's not overly secretive like how Sans be. So he's like he started coming up with he started going through the different possibilities in his mind on what could have happened to make Papyrus this cautious and all and blah blah blah. And he's like, did you remember the violent timeline? And Papyrus looked up at him because he's like, dang, I didn't even know Sans would have remembered, and he's like, yeah, the violent one, the one where I remembered a lot of them though. And I don't know, and some of them are kind of weird. It's just kind of jumbled together since I can't really, and since like I don't know, I understand. It kind of was the same thing when I came to the world too, which is kind of weird because I didn't expect it to be, at least not for me, because whatever's going on, whatever happened to even get us to this world to begin with, had to have affected probably all the timelines, maybe even every universe. But since don't say that, out loud. Not that second part. You say the timelines thing for sure, because Papyrus would know about different timelines at this point for sure, right? But Papyrus, alternate universes, it's not something Papyrus would have fully have been led on to at the moment, right? But yeah, right. Papyrus, being Papyrus, and not even just being Papyrus, but being Papyrus more, right? Being for real, back for real, right? He looking at Sans. He's like, he realized Sans hiding a little bit more, but you can't force Sans to tell him anything, so. And it doesn't seem like it's eating at him at this, like some of the other things that he used to hide. So it's like, well, it's fine, At the very least, it's not hurting him. So I mean, he'll let it happen. He'll let Sans tell him on his own, basically, right? And yeah. Now we got both Sans and Papyrus for sure, 100%. Know for a fact about the timelines, right? Both multiple different timelines, right? Neutral routes, pacifist route, no mercy route, And yeah, they look at each other, they on some, a lot less secrets, they like, oh, all right, what we do now. You feel me? I mean, and, Sans, he gonna basically tell Papyrus about what Chara was talking to him about, even in the violent run and all this extra stuff. And just like Sans would have predicted, Papyrus is going to fully believe that there is no reason for Char to be lying at this moment at all. You feel me? And it's like it was convincing Sans, and he was there, but it was only convincing Sans because he was there. Papyrus wasn't even there, hearing Chara talk at all, or even seeing body at all, and he just gonna believe. He love his bro for sure. Love. You love, especially that, just love it all, right? It's just, wow, bro. That's how you feeling. Like, dang, nigga, you ain't got no, throw caution to the wind for this one, huh? No doubts about what the situation is. It's just, wow, we just gonna fully believe it? I guess, bro. I guess we can fully believe it this time. Sans ain't doing no real argument with him. He just gonna let it slide up until if something go down, then, but if nothing go down, then, even better, because now you don't gotta work for real. Either way, Papyrus started making comments about their appearance on some, since I got hair now, oh my gosh, look at my hair. You feel me? He probably gonna grow it out longer as they grow up, but it's on his curly stuff right now. Kind of on some Deku. At least Sans is. All white, though. You feel me? For the both of them. But yeah, after they started, commenting about appearance and all this other stuff and talking about it, Sans on some, he think it fit him and all this extra, Papyrus really like his style, especially because he got hair. And he about to be a hero, he wanted to be a royal guard in the last one. He, messed with being a hero in this one because that's kind of the same thing. And Sans is perfectly fine with going along with whatever Papyrus is cooling with doing. All right. I think I said this in the previous part, but like I was saying, Sans would not be doing any of this if he was by himself. But because Papyrus is here, he for sure here doing it with him because, he wanted to. Before he didn't even know Undyne or Alphys or anybody else that I mentioned, if I mentioned them, or even if I did mention them, right, we're even in the timeline. Gaster's in the timeline, so it would make sense for anybody else to be in the timeline. You feel me? He didn't even know any of them would be here. You feel me? Asgore, Toriel, none of them, right? So nothing else. He had Papyrus, and he was gonna chill with Papyrus for sure. But yeah. They just, it wasn't like they was gone anywhere, but it feels like they reconnecting again. It's not like anything has actually changed, but it's just different again. That's just what it is. And they continue to talk about it up until Inko and Gaster come home. And Papyrus, fully remembering Gaster, it's just like, wow, it's a whole new, it just everything, it just all feels different, bro. It's all new. It's all just a different little, it's just very positive at the moment, for the both of them. For all of them, all three of them, actually, because, Gaster get put into the loop a little bit afterwards, after, Inko, out on the side cleaning dishes or something. I don't know what Inko would be doing, something like that, though. Right? So it's Japan. And, it's on some happy family stuff, like they used to be. Well, when Gaster was there and all this other stuff, On the other hand, right, Azrael, Frisk, and Chara, they get home mad sad. They don't know what. They don't know if they could visit Sans. They don't know what happened to Papyrus. I mean, them niggas going through it right now. You feel me? I mean, they wish they knew what was going on, because right now they feeling terrible, bro. You don't even know. You don't even know. That's besides the point. Next day, Papyrus still extra excited to get to class, and they gonna get there. Papyrus, just using his abnormal strength and speed and and durability and endurance and everything else. He just get there quick. Carrying sands again. He gonna get tired. He threatened to get tired of carrying sands everywhere, and he's just gonna leave him at home. But he also knows that it wouldn't matter, because sands can teleport. But yeah, they on their stuff, bro. They get home, or not home. What the hell? They get to the school. Everybody doing what everybody doing. I think the teacher talking about not class presidents, but you know what I'm talking about. Class representatives and all that. They about to take a vote. Papyrus extra energetic today. It's just he ain't changed, but he extra energetic, and Sans seems a little bit more happy. I mean, the smiles is going crazy. Everybody looking crazy. It just feel better. Frisk, Char, Azrael, they feel better. I mean, it's not terrible. They came into the room and everything just it just felt good, bro. How when you got that energy to just walk up in the room and then everybody else feel good just because you feel good, bro. That's what I'm talking about. That's why we love Papyrus. Anyway, speaking of, we cut to the voting, right? I think they said like what Bakugo got like 1 vote or something like that. That boy Bakugo going through it. He over here crashing out again, talking about, man, who ain't why I only got 1 vote, blah, blah. You feel me? Going crazy. You going crazy, bro. It's Bakugo though. We knew that. Frisk and Char would have voted not Papyrus, Sans, because they know what it is. They know what he got. They know. Right. Sans would have also got more votes. You feel me? Sans would have voted for Papyrus. Papyrus would have voted for Sans, because that's just their relationship. He got Sans just off charisma. You feel me? Just off comedic relief. He got more votes. From other people. You feel me? In the classroom, probably like, I don't know. I really don't know. Jiro, maybe. Who else is in My Hero Academia? I feel like I haven't talked about any of them boys. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about though. We got we got Sans and Papyrus. Papyrus would have got like three votes. Probably I don't know, somebody. Somebody would have niggas love Papyrus too. But Sans would have got 4. Momo would have been what's it called? Vice assistant. She would have been the assistant still, just like in canon. And Sans would have been up there, and it's like, damn, now I gotta actually do this shit. You feel me? But yeah, he would have looked up. He would have been talking to the class. Like, yeah, thank y'all putting me in this position. Very, very much appreciated. Thank y'all. I obviously not wanting to do this, and he gonna look over and be like, "Now I'm gonna let my assistant, the vice class representative, take over and explain to y'all what the responsibilities are for us." As he says that, he just rests his head on the desk, and everybody that voted for him was like, why did I expect anything else? It was just like, wow, like, it made sense for some of them. For some of them, because they actually know him. It's like, yeah, it made sense because he actually could if he wanted to. But now that I'm thinking about it, there was no reason for him to want to. You feel me? There was no reason for him to want to in the first place. So I'm just like, wow. Wow. You feel me? It's just like, wow, Sans. You're just ruining it for everybody. Anyway, Momo, wraps it up by talking about it and all this extra. And she doing, she's doing what she's doing. And she also kind of upset because she got a individual that does not care at all. You feel me? But only slightly upset. She'll be alright. It hit like lunch for time or whatever, right? We got mad paparazzi outside. They trying to get to All Might. Shigaraki was out there. He had to break the gate real quick, open up the alarms and all this extra. They was talking though, right, in the cafeteria. They had saying some fires sitting together, and for his Chara Azrael they came, trying to apologize, and they hearing Papyrus talk, and they like, something, especially first and Chara, they like, hold up. And then Flowey and Azrael, because he got Flow, man, they like, wait a minute. Sam starts slowing down time on them a little bit, make sure we ain't got no extra listeners. He hit that. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. He told me what y'all was talking about upstairs when I was talking to Chara. Talking about whether y'all should tell him about, I guess the other world or not. And apparently that triggered all of the memories. Everything flowed through. So, or something y'all said triggered it. Don't know what it was exactly. Don't really care. He knows pretty much all about it. And yeah, he, as he let go of the of time itself. You feel me? I mean, damn. Anyway, as he let that rock, he sit there and he say, and he also believes in the story that y'all was talking about, about the possible third entity that could have been controlling somebody else's body for sure. And he says it kind of sarcastic, but Papyrus chimes in. He's like, yeah, I felt like when we was fighting, well, when I was trying to spare you, that it wasn't really you that wanted to fight me, and just hearing that, first feel like, damn, bro, finally a nigga that believe me. No, I'm joking, but you understand what I'm talking about. It's like, wow, bro, man, just off rip, that's Papyrus for you, and that's why we all love Papyrus, Anyway, Fly over there talking about, wow, you are just as naive as I remember you. I'm glad you're back, Papyrus. And Papyrus like, thanks, Fly. Appreciate that. It's just like, wow, gotta love Papyrus. You feel me? Ida and Uraraka ended up sitting next to him too, and they was all on what they was on, and they was all talking. And Uraraka found out that she was sitting next to a whole bunch of rich people, just a whole lot of rich individuals. All right, I mean, she found out she was on some, blah blah, this, that, and the third. Ida, you kind of remind me of you just kind of remind me, you just kind of made me think that you got money in the family and blah blah, this, that, and then Ida revealed that the younger brother of one of them superheroes somewhere, Ingenium or whatever it was called. And yeah, he came for money and all this extra. She wouldn't have thought about that with, Sans, because, Sans is, so laid back and, extra, blah, blah, extra, just non-serious and this, that, and the third. And Papyrus would have chimed in and was like, oh, our dad's the top 5 hero in the country. So, we got a lot of money too, I guess. I think, Sans is like, yeah. Gaster funds his research with all that money. We don't live like we got a lot of money, but we're very well off. That's basically what he was on. And since us probably like, damn, I didn't know y'all was like living like that, blah blah, And it's just like, Sans would have crack some jokes on some, it's like, well, it's a good thing you got zero gravity. You got them bands, it's not gonna hold you down. It's gonna float. you know. First started laughing. But the Rock would have looked over. Was like, well, at least we on some, we out here working class, trying to get that money up. Trying to make it for the family and all that. And Flowey specifically. Flowey for sure would have chimed in and been like, wrong. You are there by yourself on that one. And the Rock was looking like, what y'all talking about? And Azra was like, yeah, our mom and dad are both retired heroes. They was really successful in the hero business too. They don't need the money. We don't really need the money. And yeah, Fritz and Charlie look at her on some, yeah. We I wouldn't say we rich, but I mean, upper middle class for sure. You feel me? Yeah, that right there is when Uraraka realized, yeah, everybody at this table, I mean, probably everybody at the school at this point got bag. I mean, they all got money for real. I don't know if a single individual here don't got money. Am I the only broke one here? You feel me? Sans would have asked. He would have asked because he would have been curious, right? He would have checked her, seen the skills. He already knew the quirk, right? And been like, why'd you want to be a hero anyway? You feel me? And she was like, oh, wow, I want to be a hero? I mean, it's embarrassing now. I mean, y'all over here talking about, about this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, and Papyrus would have reassured her on some, don't worry. The great Papyrus would never judge you on your decisions. You feel me? Or something like that. She would have been on some, I was just trying to get some money for the family, it's just being a hero is, financially better than working some trash 9-to-5 job. They would have laughed at that. Not laughed at it, but laughed at the, mentality. It's like, yeah, I guess, we could be a hero to get some money too. Nothing wrong with trying to help yourself and help others, help, she feel a little bit more, involved in the group. She's not. I'm gonna let you know right now. Just spoiler alert, you feel me? She's not involved at all. She don't know anything about these individuals at all. She gonna notice that eventually, but we'll get there. Right now, alarms peaking. People talking about, somebody might have broke in and this, that, and the third. Everybody panicking because they ain't even heard of this before. We got everybody stuffed in the hallways. Sans, he kind of in the back, for being honest. Papyrus would have been trying to help other people. Everybody else would have been, they just would have been panicking, from being 100. Everybody, though, Sans is really just, like, caught off guard. He don't know, he really don't understand why they panicking this hard. I mean, he actually get a little concerned, and he go outside trying to see, like, he teleport outside trying to see, like, is it a problem? It's like, he looking around, it's like, it's just the paparazzi. How did they even get in here? But, now he's very less worried about the situation. He just, and he teleport back inside, and he's like, all right, I'm going to just let them individuals have that. And, maybe they'll learn from maybe they'll learn from this situation, because this is embarrassing. You see it, and you wanna help. You wanna be a hero of the situation. You feel me? So You know, he do his cannon thing where he touch Uraraka, or he get Uraraka to zero gravity him, and he fly all the way to the front, and he yell at everybody, telling them to, you know, calm down. It's just the paparazzi. Y'all doing too much. Blah 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 blah. You feel me? Y'all understand? Y'all doing too much. It's the paparazzi. Calm down. Breathe. It's not that serious. them hearing Ida, they would have calmed down. They'd be like, "Oh, it's just paparazzi." Oh boy, cause I thought we was gonna die. I'm joking. But yeah, after all that happened, and you know, everybody calmed down, and everybody, you know, got back to their normal schedules. The teacher would have put it up for the class representative to tell them to do something. I forgot what it was, but it was something like that, right? And Sans would have got up there, and he would have been like, you know, with Momo, of course, and be like, yeah, you know, before any of that, I gotta say something. Ida really did a great job with, you know, helping everybody calm down and, you know, realize it was a paparazzi so they could, you know, just you know, so we can get through this a lot safer and all that, right? You know, I noticed it was the paparazzi as well, but, you know, I just assumed that it would have been fine. But, you know, the action of Ida that Ida took place in, you know, it makes me fully believe that Ida deserves to be the classroom representative, and I'm appointing him as the classroom representative, and yeah, he got it for sure, 100%. You know, that boy Sans is trying to find his way out of this responsibility so fast. I mean, that boy Sans don't care, bro. I mean, yeah, he do believe in that, right? He do believe that, fully does believe it, and he convinces everybody that he convinces most people that the possible ulterior motives, you know, aren't you know, they might not be as prominent as some of the other people that know him. You feel me? Papyrus for sure know that he did. Well, you know, he also believes in the sense of doing it for, you know, because he actually think Ida would do his thing with it. But other than that, he for sure know that that boy Sans is doing this for one reason. So with Fritz, Azrael, and Chara, you feel me? So would Bakugo. You know, if I'm being 100, I mean, Bakugo been with them boys for the longest, and all that. Although that boy, you know, a little bit distraught at the moment, he would still know because he know about them. All right, he know about them. As Sans goes back to sit down, right? Ida, you know, take the place as class representative. Sans falls asleep immediately. And Momo's still upset because nobody considered her to be the, you feel me? Even as Sans was stepping down, it's not like, yeah, let me put Momo in charge. Nah, she didn't do that. She didn't jump up there and tell everybody else the paparazzi and that they need to calm down, all right? She don't need it. If she would have did that, for sure she could have been the, you know, but she didn't. And that's the problem. Either way, right? After all that happened, you know, people chilling, and and it's a good day. All right, everybody, a lot of people are happy. Shigaraki got the information that he wanted for the USJ event, or you know, for what's gonna happen at USJ. So yeah, the next day, right? They you know, in class, right? At this point, Ida would have tried to convince Sans to stop, at the very least, resting his head on the desk so much that now it doesn't bother him. Because that boy Sans, you know, he talk about it. with him, every time. And he's like, yeah, I got you. I'm not gonna sleep. And then he'll pull something else out of his ass. You feel me? I'm not gonna lay my head on the desk. And then he'll lay on the floor. You feel me? Then he'll float. At this point, it's just like, just lay your head on the desk. I'm not talking to you anymore. You feel me? At some point, that unstoppable force is gonna have to pick a different target. All right, you feel me? It's just when you dealing with that immovable object, you're just gonna have to pick a different target at some point. All right, somebody else got to get this damage. Anyway, the teacher didn't care to begin with, so it wouldn't have mattered for him. And because Sans is able to, probably partially sleep and then wake up to get back to business so much, it really don't bother him. He's actually impressed by it. So, he tell people that, it's time for that, he basically let everybody know it's time for that USJ. It's time for that hero work, training, all that. You feel me? Put your suits on. It's time to put in all the work possible, right? So they go put the suits on. They hop on the bus. Everybody in the class bonding. They ain't been here for a while, and they on their first little trip. So, we got like Sue out here, who most likely would have sat next to Sans. I'd say like in canon, but only because Sans would have been taking the place of Izuku. So, yeah. But yeah, she would have been sitting next to Sans and all that, right? And they would have been talking, and it would have been cool. Well, they would have been talking about they would have started talking, and Sans would have tried to call her by her name, and then she would be like, nah, just call me Sue. And unlike Izuku, Sans would not have had a problem nor issue with it at all. He might have messed up a couple times, but I mean, as the conversation continued, Sue does just fall off the tongue a little bit better. I don't even remember her actual name. I think it's Hasui. Either way, yeah, we got Sue out here though. And then people would have been making Bakugo mad. Bakugo always mad. The Fires would have been trying to calm him down. It's like, man, Bakugo, you don't gotta lash out like that. Bakugo, you can just accept it what they said and then move on and try to either do better or not care. Blah blah. This and the third. Fires. Bakugo ain't hearing it though. You don't care. It's like, shut up, Virus. I'm gonna get. He just gonna do what he gonna do, bro. There's no other options. He just gonna do what he gonna do if I'm being 100. All Might would have been, doing a lot of hero work, so he would not be here. Yep, he'd be resting like he was in canon. But yeah, first would have been talking to probably Momo, if I'm being 100, if I'm being 100, it just would have made sense for Frisk as a character. At least as a character that I've made. Well, I say made, but interpreted. People, I was about to say that Azrael would have been talking to people, but in reality, people would have been talking to Azrael. You feel me? Mainly probably Dinky and Mineta. And once you get involved with those two, it's just like, nobody else gonna be really trying to talk to him. You feel me? Mineta really trying to figure out who Frisk and Char is to him. Because Mineta's a pervert. But that's besides the point. Because yeah, they're related, and no, he ain't getting nothing. You feel me? That's just what that is. And that's just how Flowey let that out to him. Azrael let that out to him. There ain't no way he ever gonna be in the range of possibility of even getting a whiff of something related to. You feel me? Uh, goodness, nigga, damn. But yeah, you know, Papyrus, you know, he would have been talking to the people. Feel me, going around and around. Ida, you feel me, Kirishima, Bakugo, Jiro, Mina, you feel me? This is a whole lot. This is a whole lot of people for Papyrus to be friends with, and he just gonna use this as an opportunity to be friends with him, for sure. And they messing with him. They mess with bro. They mess with bro. Most of them. I say most of them, but there's also nobody I would assume wouldn't be messing with them. So I'm gonna say actually all of them. So Char wouldn't be talking. In fact, Char would be sitting next to people that also wouldn't be talking. Like, what's her name? What's his name? Tokiyami? Tokiyami. Dupli Arms. Coda. You feel me? It's just Char, bro. It's just Char. Only person Char talking to is Frisk. And Azrael. And Azrael not talking to her at the moment. So. Or Papyrus. She'll talk to Papyrus too, because Papyrus will be talking to her as well. But yeah, they get there, right? And now it's time to get serious. You feel me? So they go up in there, as I was trying to find out where All Might is. In the 13 hour talking about, hey, he don't hit that limit. You feel me? Time's up for him right now. And he like, man, that motherfucker doing too much at the moment. You feel me? So they go up in there, they explain what's going on to all the kids. What these different areas is on and everything, right? And then, all of a sudden, before they can even start for real, we got villains out here. They teleporting in. They like, some students, they're like, oh yeah, this part of the training. We gotta beat them up, blah blah, this, that, and the third. So like, nah, y'all stay here. You feel me? He jumped down there. Start putting the beaters on him. He start, wink, wink, you feel me? My boy is always good with the hands. But yeah, it's over. I did it. I won again. This is my 5th time winning. How do y'all feel about me winning this much? Respectfully, of course. I'm having to edit this outro out too. God dang. Have a good day. Blessed night. Thank you, God, for the opportunity. Pray. Get the prayer in every time. Pick up the Bible. Watch more of my what ifs. Have a good day. I'm gonna see y'all next time.